Hi and welcome everyone to another video on this channel. Today we're gonna take a look at some wildcard drafts for Game Week 30. We're gonna see which teams are probable to double in Game Week 33 and blank in Game Week 34, and also we're gonna discuss a little bit about some cheap strategy. And as always, if you enjoy this type of content, please consider giving a like and hit that subscribe button. But now let's get into it. Okay, so firstly I just wanted to take a look at the teams who are probably gonna blank in Game Week 34, and also to see the fixtures who are guaranteed to happen in Game Week 33. Now you can skip already to the part with my wildcard drafts if you're not really interested in this stuff, but first I just wanted to take a look to see the bigger picture. Now as you can see, we have some fixtures who are gonna be guaranteed in Game Week 33. Now from that list, Nottingham Forest, as you may know, beat Brighton in the FA Cup quarterfinals, so they are in the semi-finals. And maybe you're asking why they are not gonna blank in Game Week 34 and have a double in Game Week 33. Now that's because that fixture, Nottingham Forest Brentford, probably is gonna remain in Game Week 34, and that's because Nottingham Forest are gonna play Monday in Game Week 33, and the schedule is really tight also. And yeah, these teams are not playing in Europe, and the chances at the moment are that this fixture is gonna stay in Game Week 33. Now, what you see on this screen is not 100% sure. I can't guarantee you what's gonna happen. Thanks to Ben Cranin and Planet FPL, all these guys who are helping us with the double game mix and blank game mix. Credit to them. Go check them on Twitter. We have a clear image of what's gonna happen, but as I write it there, we hope to have the full schedule before Game Week 31. So until we see exactly and when the double game mix and blank game mix are gonna be announced, nobody can guarantee you what's gonna happen, but we're trying to predict here. And also I'm recording this video before the game Manchester City Bournemouth in the FA Cup. So yeah, as you can see at the moment, the teams who are probably gonna blank are Man City, Aston Villa, Arsenal, and Crystal Palace. Now Aston Villa just won against Preston in the FA Cup, so they are through to the semi-final. These teams in the red corner, as you can see, are probably gonna blank in Game Week 34, as I said before, and also they are gonna have a double game week. Now that double game week could go into Game Week 33 or 36 most likely, but as you can see, the chances are that these teams are gonna double in Game Week 33. Yeah, so Nottingham Forest Brentford is not gonna be probably a blank, but again, we need to see what's gonna happen. And also, if Bournemouth are gonna win against Manchester City in the quarterfinal today, they are gonna blank also in Game Week 34. They were to play against Manchester United, so Bournemouth and Man United are gonna blank in Game Week 34. If Bournemouth is gonna win against Man City, now the chances are that Man City is just gonna go through to the semi-final, and in that case, the only teams who are gonna blank are gonna be City, Villa, Arsenal, and Crystal Palace. But of course, we need to see what's gonna happen. Now for the next part, let's see which are the fixtures for the teams who are gonna double in Game Week 33. Okay, so as you can see from the screen, these are the teams who are probably gonna blank in Game Week 34 and double in Game Week 33. Now to this list, as I said before, if Bournemouth are gonna win against Manchester City in the quarterfinal, you can add Bournemouth to this list, to the teams who are gonna double in Game Week 33 and 34. Now that's gonna make the bench boost a better pick if Bournemouth are gonna double also. But yeah, let's see what's gonna happen. At the moment, the teams are those, as I said before: Crystal Palace, as you can see, Southampton away, Brighton at home, and back-to-back double game weeks in Game Week 32 and 33. So yeah, that's really nice. Obviously, the fixtures are not great. As you can see, they're gonna play against Man City, Newcastle away in Game Week 32, and Bournemouth and Arsenal. So the fixtures are not easy for Crystal Palace, but we love a double game week in FPL, and also we love some back-to-back double game weeks. So yeah, I think that it doesn't really matter which strategy you are on. You want to have some Crystal Palace players in your team. At the moment, as you can see, Arsenal are likely to double also. That's because Crystal Palace beat Fulham in the quarterfinal yesterday, and the fixture run from for Arsenal is amazing. Also, Fulham, Everton, Brentford, and a double gaming of Ipswich away and Crystal Palace at home. That's really nice. We need to monitor the players from Arsenal, the defenders, obviously, but also Bukayo Saka. If he's gonna be fit, I think that he's gonna be obviously a great option for this double game week. Manchester City, they were the teams who were most likely to double in this game week because Man City can win against Bournemouth, and also Aston Villa just won against Preston, so this is gonna be a blank, and these teams are surely gonna double in gaming 33 or 36. Now with Man City, Leicester, Man United, Crystal Palace, Everton, and Aston Villa, another great run of fixture for them, and also the same goes for Aston Villa. Maybe Brighton away it's not the best fixture, and also Nottingham Forest at home. But as we are approaching the game week 32, the fixtures are going to be great, and I think that many people are going to want to have some Aston Villa players in their teams because they're going to play against Southampton, and after that Newcastle, Man City away. Now the double game week is not great. Rashford just scored 2 goals in the FA Cup. Now obviously it's against Preston, but I think that we can find some good options from Aston Villa. Now let's see some wildcard drafts for Gaming 30. Okay, so as you can see from the screen, this is my first wildcard draft for Gaming 30. Now don't scream at me, I know it doesn't have Erling Haaland and also it has Cole Palmer, but I can explain in a second. Now, obviously, I suggest you try to think about your own strategies and your own punts because obviously you're gonna be the person who's gonna think the most about your team. For example, I'm not using my wildcard in Gaming 30, so maybe I'm not the best person to give you advice about this, but I tried to make a draft. And obviously, I have another one with Haaland, so don't worry. At the moment, I have, because I don't have enough cash, I have Timber instead of Gabriel. I think that this draft is a little bit more flexible if you're not gonna have Haaland. Now Marmoush is on the bench against Bournemouth. They are playing right now. Bournemouth is winning against City currently, so that can change things a little bit. But again, don't expect Marmoush to be the same as Haaland because he's not gonna be. Obviously, I still think that he's gonna play most games for Man City, and he's really good value for the money, but Haaland is gonna play 90 minutes every game week. He's on penalties, although he missed one just now. But yeah, as you can see, Arsenal are gonna have a double. Crystal Palace. I think that Saka is gonna be an option at some point. I don't think that I would put him in my wildcard 30 if I was to wildcard because I don't think that he's gonna play 90 minutes in game week 30. And yeah, we need to see about that. And also Palmer is a really nice route to Bukayo Saka in game week 33 or 32 if you want to. And yeah, also it's really tough to have Saka, Salah, Isak, Haaland, Mateta. So yeah, but at the moment I have 3 players from Newcastle: Isak, Gordon, Burn. Obviously, if you struggle for cash or if you don't want to have Gordon on your bench, you can buy him just next game because he's banned for gaming 30. But I think that this is the best trio from Newcastle. Now with Crystal Palace, obviously Eze is a really nice option. He just played amazingly in the FA Cup. But Munoz, Sar, Mateta, really good. Areola, a really cheap option on my goalkeeper. Clivert, a player for Bournemouth. Now, if Bournemouth are gonna win against Man City and go through to the semi-final of the FA Cup, that's gonna be a big boost for the bench boosters in game week 33. Now, at the moment, if we take a look at how this team is gonna look like in game week 31 and most likely game week 32 because that's why when we are really interested in this, you're gonna have 3 players from Palace, 3 from Newcastle. You're gonna have Guardiol, Raya, Salah, Palmer against Ipswich at home. If you don't want to buy Saka, I think that's a great fixture. Also, Clivert against Fulham, and on the bench you're gonna have also Konsa against Southampton. Southampton away if you want some coverage. Now Aston Villa are gonna double in game week 33 maybe. and blank in gaming 34. But the thing is, the schedule for Aston Villa is really tight, so you don't have to jump on Aston Villa players so soon, because yeah, I think that there could be some rotation and we need to see who's gonna be nailed, or at least get as much information as we can for the next period. Now in gaming 33, with this draft, you're gonna have uh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players who are gonna double without making any transfers. Now, obviously, here you can sell someone like Palmer to someone like Saka. You can sell someone like Clivert if he's not gonna have a double, to someone like Rashford. He just scored 2 goals in the FA Cup. So you have some options. You can sell some of your Newcastle players, and that's why I picked Areola, because if you want to use your bench boost in gaming 33, West Ham are gonna play against Southampton away, so that's not Southampton at home. Sorry, so that's not a bad fixture. Obviously, it's a good fixture, and it's gonna be not so easy to have 15 double gaming players. And I think that for a goalkeeper spot, that's a really good option, because yeah, he could get a clean sheet, and he's really cheap. That's why I picked him. Now, obviously, I would prefer to have Gabriel instead of Timber. You can have some adjustments here and there. You can sell someone like Gordon to someone like Rogers if you want to save up some cash, or you can not go for someone like Vardiol. Maybe go for a cheaper defender from Man City. You can go for another goalkeeper who's gonna have a double gaming probably in gaming 33, like Martinez, Ederson if you want to. But I just think that you should prioritize the midfielders, attackers, defenders than the goalkeepers. Now in this draft, obviously you're gonna have Marmoush, Mateta. You're not gonna have Haaland, but I think that it depends. It really depends, because I don't think that everyone is gonna be able to afford Haaland, Saka, Salah. You're gonna have to take some to make some compromise it sometimes. But I think that this draft is decent. Now, please let me know about your opinion down below in the comments if you want to. Now, let's see the second draft with Haaland. Okay, so this is my second wildcard draft for Gaming 30 now. Obviously, it's not perfect, and what I omitted to say in the first one, with Aston Villa players, the thing is, the fixtures are going to be really tight, because as you can see here, they are going to play against Southampton, Newcastle, Man City, and also that double gaming, but they are also in the UEFA Champions League. So that game, gaming 32, Southampton is between two legs in Europe. So uh, there is some possibility of rotation from Aston Villa, but still I think that they have some good options now. Obviously, they have Rashford, Asensio, Watkins, Rogers, Konsa, Martinez if you want to. But yeah, what you're losing if you want to have Haaland in your team, obviously, is that you need to have some cheap players like Minte, Rogers, someone like Murphy if you want. Now in this draft I gone with two defenders from Newcastle in Burn and Livramento, but you can go for someone like Murphy from Newcastle, a really cheap midfielder also. Now you still here have Munoz, Eze and Mateta. You can go for Sar if you want to save some cash, but I just wanted to show you that it is possible to go for Eze also, because I think that he's a great option too on set pieces, on penalties when Mateta is not going to be on the pitch. Now with Arsenal, the same. Here we have Gabriel and Raya. I think that maybe that's the best double up in Arsenal's defense, and obviously maybe you're gonna want to have someone like Bukayo Saka. But yeah, if you really need to do that, you can just sell Salah if you're brave enough in gaming 33 and buy him back after that, or use your free in gaming 34. Now here we have the players are good from Crystal Palace. You don't have someone like Gordon, you don't have Guardiol, you don't have Marmoush, you have Haaland, so I guess that's okay. You have Clivert, Areola. Now obviously you can, if you don't go with Haaland, you can go for two goalkeepers who are gonna have a double in game week 33, someone like Ederson if you want to, or Martinez from Aston Villa. But also I think that Areola against Southampton is a decent fixture. Now the thing is, we need to see what's gonna happen today, because if Bournemouth are gonna beat Man City and have a double game week in 33, then we can have more players from Bournemouth, maybe a Kerkez, maybe a Huijsen, and maybe a Semenyo, and that's gonna help also the players who want to have Erling Haaland in their teams, because you can have instead of Eze someone like Semenyo and try to save up some cash. Yeah, instead of Munoz, you can have someone like Huijsen. But yeah, these are the players I think that are the core for a wildcard 30 draft. Now, obviously, you need to see for your own team what's the best strategy. In gaming 31, with this draft, we have a decent team. As you can see, the midfield is okay, the attack looks great. So, as I said before, in gaming 32, you're gonna have 6 players from Newcastle and Crystal Palace. If you can afford to have so many players, maybe you don't have your fleet, so it's not gonna be so easy for everyone to navigate through these game weeks. But if we go to gaming 33, the big double game week, as you can see here, you're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 players who are gonna have a double game week in gaming 33 without making any transfers. So obviously, you can go for someone like Saka, you can upgrade Minte in Gaming 33, you can sell someone like Burn, you can get to 11 or 12 double gaming players. I think that's enough. Obviously, it's not gonna be so easy to have 15 double gaming players, I think, this year, because uh, yeah, you just can't have them all. But again, we need to see if Bournemouth are gonna win against Man City, because that's gonna change the things a little bit. And maybe not so many people are gonna go for Haaland, because you're gonna have more cheap players from Bournemouth. And maybe if that's gonna happen, we can have some more double gaming players for Bench Boost 33. Now for the cheap strategy, obviously it's really important to know what's gonna happen in the game who's going on right now, Bournemouth Man City, because if Bournemouth are gonna win against Man City, they are gonna double in gaming 33 probably and blank in gaming 34, and if that's gonna happen, Bench Boost 33 is gonna be a really powerful chip. Now at the moment, as you can see from the screen, every strategy is team dependent. Now, obviously, I don't think that so many people have all their chips remaining, because I think that if you have all your chips remaining, it's gonna be really hard to use them all. But I tried to think about my own strategy and which strategy would be the best for in every case. But obviously, you can't really do that. I can just help and give my opinion about this thing. Now, as you can see, the first strategy, I think that maybe it's because it's my strategy, although I don't have my assistant manager left. Maybe I think that that's the best strategy. Even if you're wildcarding in gaming 30 or 31, you're gonna triple captain in gaming 32, probably someone like Isak or a Newcastle player, something like that. Then you're gonna bench boost in gaming 33, because you're also gonna have all those players from Crystal Palace who are gonna have back-to-back double game weeks in gaming 33 and 32. You're gonna them out, because these teams are not gonna have a fixture in gaming 34. Man City, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Arsenal, and the list goes on. So you're gonna free it, and after that, if you have your assistant manager chip left, you can use it in gaming 36. Now probably gaming 36 is gonna be some kind of mini double gaming. Now we don't know that for sure, and maybe it's a risk to wait that long for the assistant manager. I think that maybe assistant manager chip is the most powerful chip in the game, but honestly it really could go wrong, because what happened before this season, so many people used their assistant manager chip, and some people triple captain Mohamed Salah in that double gaming, and it really worked out well for them. Now, obviously, it's a really impactful chip and really important. I think that first of all, you should see which chips you have available. The most important ones for me are Assistant Manager, Wildcard, and Bench Boost, and maybe Freed also. So the Triple Captain is the most useless chip. So you just need to play him it when you can. Now at the moment I think that this is the most flexible strategy, I think, but obviously from because now we have some news that Crystal Palace are gonna have back-to-back double game weeks, then that really makes so appealing that assistant manager chip on someone like Glasner from Crystal Palace. So assistant manager chip for game week 31, it doesn't really matter. You can, if your team is okay, you can just start with that, but if your team is really bad, obviously you should wildcard game week 30 and then use your assistant manager chip. But if your team is okay, you're gonna just use your assistant manager chip if you want in game week 31, 32 for the double and 33 for another double. So with Glasner and Crystal Palace, you're gonna have maybe 5 games to go for that bonus, the league table bonus. Now, obviously, the games for Crystal Palace are really tough, and that's the thing with the system manager chip. It really could go really wrong. I mean, Crystal Palace could lose 4 or 5 games out of those, but also if they could get 2 or 3 or 4 draws, I don't know, maybe a win there, that could be huge for the system manager chip in game week 31. Now you can't use other chips when you're using your assistant manager. So in gaming 31, 32, and 33, you're gonna use it. Or maybe if you want to start with gamic 30, you can do that also and save one gamic. Now after that you're gonna free it in gamic 34 if you don't have enough players who are gonna play in that gamic, and then you can wildcard in gamic 35, completely change your team, and then use your bench boost in the double gamic in gamic 36 if that's when it's gonna be a double gamic. And then you need to see when you're gonna use your triple captainship. You need to find another opportunity. Now, if you're gonna use your assistant manager chip in gaming 30, let's say, you can free it in gaming 33 for the biggest double gaming this season. Um, and then the same wildcard gaming 35 and bench boost or triple captain in gaming 36. Now the last strategy is not, I'm not really a fan of this. You can also wildcard in gaming 30, 31, and then decide if you want to bench boost in gaming 32 or 33. And also in this strategy also you're also gonna use your assistant manager chip in gaming 35, 36, 37 or 36, 37, 38 as you prefer. Now what I like about using your assistant manager later in the season is that you're gonna know which teams are fighting for relegation, for the top 4, and you can go for that league table bonus if there's any to get. Now you're gonna use your wildcard in gaming 30 or 31, which gimmick you choose. Then you need to decide when you want to use your bench boost. uh, I prefer to use my triple captain in gaming 32. That's my preferred destination. Obviously, you can use your triple captain in gaming 33 if you want to, but I just think that you should try to maximize that gaming, because so many, there's gonna be some double gimmick players, and it's gonna be really hard to have all of those in your team if you're not gonna use your fleet. Now, obviously, you need to, if you're going with this strategy, it's gonna be pretty hard to also prepare for gaming 34, because you just can't have them all. Obviously, maybe some of you guys don't have all these chips, and it's gonna be really hard to go through this period, but you need to pick less players from Crystal Palace and Newcastle. Maybe you need to save some transfers, maybe take a hit somewhere. But yeah, the thing is, every strategy is team dependent. Now my preferred one is it's the first one. Obviously the second one, as you can see, if you're activated your wildcard already in gaming 30, it's not a problem. I mean, you can put that wildcard there before the assistant manager chip. Now there's also that possibility to use your assistant manager in gaming 30 and 31 and 32, and then you can use your free in gaming 33, as you can see from the third strategy. And after that, the same, you can wildcard and use your bench boost. Now the thing is, the most important thing you need to understand, probably I'm rambling about this chip strategy, maybe I'm also confusing myself a little bit, but the thing is, you need to know when you're gonna wildcard, I mean, when your team is gonna need maybe the wildcard, because then you can build your strategy from there. So let's say your team is good for gaming 30, you're gonna wildcard just in gaming 31, and then you need to see when you're gonna use your assistant manager chip, obviously, if you have him. So I feel really lucky that I don't have my assistant manager chip, because I used it already, because I think that it's really tough to make a schedule when you're gonna use it, because obviously it takes 3 game weeks, and you can't use other chips in that period of time. After you're sure when you're gonna wildcard, you are gonna find the best strategy. Thank you so much for watching this video for so long, and as usual, if you enjoy this type of content and if you want to see more, please consider leaving a like, and also hit that subscribe button if you enjoy my content. It really means a lot, and I'm gonna see you next time. Bye.